All right, welcome back. So, Mbsr. So I'm in week five. Week five's kind of a big one. So it's dealing with difficult emotions and physical pain. So for me, I'm class two obese. That came from difficult emotions, the stress of a triple whammy during the pandemic, the winter storm, the pandemic, of course, and then other events as well. Dealt with a lot of difficult emotions. Also, moving from my hometown just to be ending up leaving the employer that I left there for reasons. So lots of good things to learn about in this one. So speaking of which, we've got the same structure as for prior weeks. We've got the informal and formal practices. So let's open up the informal practice. And let's log an entry for today. So this is a turning inward exercise. So what we do is, and it's unfortunately it's explained in the other document, but so it's an unwanted emotion or physical discomfort. What you do is, if at the end of so I don't have to worry about this one today. If everything's good and gravy, you express gratitude. But if that's not the case, week five is all about facing head on the difficulties in your life, which I love. I love that. I've actually kind of tried something like MBSR before. I tried just gratitude journaling, and I got like pretty into it. I was able to really get myself to express gratitude. But the only way I could start it was to have an ungratitude a journal that's really what got me off the ground with it. So I really like how MBSR incorporates looking at that other side and not just ignoring real problems. So the informal practice is to practice with either turning toward difficult emotions or turning toward physical pain, focusing on an unwanted emotion or physical pain that may have come up during the day. The unwanted emotion or physical pain doesn't have to be severe. For instance, being mildly annoyed by something that day, or a sore back or tense neck and shoulder. So I've got a good one for that. I just had a 2-hour long community orchestra rehearsal playing the viola, which is not designed to be ergonomic. I'm class 2 obesity still. Hopefully by the end of next week, I might be down to class 1. But as it is still, I'm still class 2 obese with very poor cholesterol numbers. So this is what I'm going to choose. So what was the situation? Community orchestra practice. All right. What were you noticing near the end? Extreme pain in my upper stomach area. Pulling and stretching pain. Felt like there was pressure. Felt like pressure building up and expanding. Almost like the scene from Monty Python, Meaning of Life. If anyone knows what that is, I'm sorry. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up. His name is Mr. Cumberbatch, I think. You don't need to know anything more than that. But what was the strongest emotion you were feeling? The strongest emotion? Oh, well, here's the thing. So you do it one or the other. Actually, no, you do them both. We can see the examples. One is an example for emotional, and one is for physical, and both answer all of the questions. So the first question was, what was the situation, what you were doing? So I was in community orchestra practice near the end. What were you noticing near the end? Extreme pain in my upper stomach area. So what was the strongest emotion you were feeling? Um, I guess. I mean, I guess I don't really feel emotions when I'm in a situation like that. I felt attentive. I felt motivated uh, to play right. I felt uh, so attentive, motivated. I felt I guess a little bit. I guess I felt some eustress, like some. I felt like the good kind of stress. Stress. Definitely didn't want to play badly, but wasn't uh, wasn't feeling really stressed and anxious about possibly making a mistake. Yeah, and I felt, I like it's orchestra playing, so like, I'm in my role, so I felt secure in my role. If you ask me to conduct, if you ask me to play the cello, if you ask me to go to the woodwind section, I would not have those same feelings of security. All right, so how would you describe this physicality? I would describe it as class 2 obesity. And I didn't even eat badly today. Today was a pretty good eating day. So class 2 obesity, I would describe it as heartburn, and I was metformin heartburn. I'm on metformin. My doctor and I figured that might help. I mean, we got to do something if I can't get these semaglutide. It's just so. I was right smack in the middle of class 2, and I might have hit class 3 at some point. So it's, all hands on deck, red alert. This is absolutely unacceptable for me to continue to gain weight. So okay, so class 2 obesity, metformin heartburn, which sucks. I hate it. And then pulling, stretching in stomach, yeah, stomach, felt like diverticulosis. Felt like a diverticulosis site is forming in my upper stomach. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, now it corrected it to diverticulitis, but what I meant was diverticulosis. Diverticulitis is when small pouches in the large intestine become inflamed or infected. Well, you're not supposed to have small pouches in your large intestine. You're supposed to have a fairly smooth large intestine. You can have some pouches here and there, but diverticulitis is usually a result of diverticulosis. And diverticulosis is a condition where small pouches called diverticula form. So, you can have some diverticula, and that's fine. But diverticulosis, if you're like me and you're class 2 obese and you're gaining, you've got way more pressure in your colon, your descending colon, than you ever should. And your colon can't handle that. Like it's too much pressure. So what happens? It blows up like a balloon, it expands its surface area by exploding. Like your colon explodes, but like you don't die from it exploding, because it just pops out like little balloons out of it. But that's not supposed to happen. Like you're just not supposed to have that much structure, that much pressure in your colon. So Yeah, it's definitely something that kind of worries me, and it's definitely a unpleasant feeling for sure, and has a solid place in my turning inward log. Um, all right, so where did you find something unpleasant? I also noticed the chair. Also noticed that my chair was creaking way more than anyone else in the orchestra, which makes sense because I am likely more than twice the weight of the average participant. I would estimate that our conductor is no more than 120. I am 280. So if so, I'm well over twice the weight of our conductor. Our first violinist, I would also estimate, is I am well over twice the weight. So yeah, it's not a good thing to notice that I'm so heavy that I'm causing my chair to creak very loudly. Even a little concerned that the chair won't hold, to be honest. All right, and then what did you notice immediately after, like right now? Um, I don't know. I guess. So let's see what the example says. I softened around my stomach. I noticed it was felt much bigger in that area. Pain is still there. So I noticed the pain is still there. It's a little better now that I'm standing and am not maintaining a difficult posture for hours. And my posture when I play is actually quite good. It's just that upright meditation exercise for half an hour was causing these kinds of pains just sitting upright. So that's kind of what I'm experiencing. The same sort of discomfort I got from the upright meditation, which makes sense because not only was I in a similar position, I was doing it for 4 times the length, and I was holding and playing an instrument. So I noticed that the pain, even now that I'm no longer playing, is still there. It's a little better that I'm standing and not maintaining a difficult posture. And then let's see here. So, and then what do I notice now? Oh, so here's an example. So mind, body, emotion, action. Emotion. Um, uh, I feel I feel socialized, which is kind of funny because like I didn't socialize, I just played in a community orchestra, but I was out in a community and seeing people I hadn't seen in a while, and participating in a group activity. So I definitely think it's fair to say that I feel socialized, and I think that makes sense. Even if it's kind of not necessarily the same way other people would describe what I'm feeling right now. I feel like there's a better word for it. I guess I feel stimulated. That's a good word, because I was reading music, I was playing along, I was so I definitely feel a little bit stimulated. All right, and it's as easy as that. In fact, I went a bit over. It really doesn't have to be that many words at all. All right, and it's a little bit too bad I did because I've still got the turning inward meditation, which is going to be half an hour. So let's get that started, get that out of the way. And I've got time now to read the description of it. I did the difficult emotions one last time. I'm definitely going to do the physical pain one this time. Last time I just had to make the video as short as possible, and the difficult emotions is a little bit shorter. So the turning toward meditations for difficult emotions and or physical pain. The complex interaction between physical, emotional, and mental realms makes it inaccurate to say a discomfort is just mental/emotional or just physical. Significant physical pain is emotionally difficult, and significant emotional pain has physical consequences and correlates. Even so, tap water here is really bad. Even so, for the turning toward meditation, there are two different recordings. One for the difficult emotions, for example, hurt, loss, and anger, and one for physical pain, such as chronic pain, fibromyalgia, serious injury, or physical disability. For me, my physical pain is due to my obesity. It's in my stomach, and it's also my back, because the pulling of my large stomach, it pulls down on my back in a way that causes me upper back pain. If you are wanting to work on an issue that is not primarily physical, do the meditation for difficult emotions. Otherwise, do meditation for physical pain. They follow the same sequence and both address emotional and physical realms, but the guidance is slightly different. A special thanks to Vidyamala Birch, who inspired these meditations with her 5-step model. And let's briefly look at the 5-step model. Okay, we'll probably read this later, so I don't want to get sidetracked here. So, after doing one of these meditations once or twice, you are ready to try the turning inward informal practices. So yesterday I did one of them. So I've been doing those informal practices, which can be done virtually anytime in any setting. Be sure to review turning toward difficult emotions or turning toward physical pain to guide you through the corresponding informal exercises. So we didn't read these fully. So that might be worth it to read that to get more out of those exercises. But I thought they were pretty straightforward. But let's get this out of the way, this meditation, and then I'll read more about the formal, informal exercises, just so I'm covering my bases there. And then I've got a lot to get through, so I think tonight it's getting a bit late. So I'm gonna get that meditation done. So let's get that started. The physical pain one now for sure. It's a good time for that. All right, so I need to find where the meditation is. It's down here. Okay, so transcript and the video, and there's the emotional one. I want the physical one. It's a good time for it after my
this meditation
2 hours of playing
can be done either sitting or lying down, and it's specifically designed to work with difficult physical pain, including migraines, recovery from injury or surgery.
I would say if you have a migraine, this wouldn't work. Sorry, I hate to pause it because it does the time, but I've had migraines before, and this would not work for me for migraines. So it's a little bit concerning that this is meant to be done by someone with a migraine, because I've had migraines before, and I am very lucky I do not get migraines anymore. But hey, maybe that's just me. My migraines, I absolutely could not listen to a recording like this. It would make me throw up.
Back pain or chronic pain. As we begin, noticing the support you're receiving from what you're sitting or lying on. Paying special attention to the sensations of support. If you're sitting, noticing how your feet are making contact with the floor, how your buttocks are supported by the chair or cushion, how your arms and hands are resting. If you're lying down, noticing how you're supported by the floor or bed, how your upper body, arms, legs, and feet are making contact with the bed or mat. Whether sitting or lying down, allowing your weight to sink down through these points of contact, and wherever possible, letting any tension drain down into the support and beyond. And as you're sitting or lying here, letting any thoughts or images go, just feeling supported by what's beneath you. When you're ready, noticing the breath, actually feeling the breath through the movement of your belly or chest or shoulders. Noticing how the whole body expands a little on the in-breath and relaxes a little on the out-breath. Just letting your breath be your breath, knowing you're breathing just fine. You could even observe your breath the way you'd watch waves at the seashore, watching them go out and come back in and flow back out again, smoothing the sand as they come in and out. You know, you wouldn't demand that they go faster or slower, or that they be bigger or smaller. You just enjoy watching them. Seeing if in the same way you can allow the breath to be just as it is, letting the breath just breathe itself. In a moment, we'll turn our attention to a physical condition or sensation that's troubling you, something that's not the way you'd want it to be physically. It could be a chronic pain, something that's almost always there, something in your back or your neck or joints. Or it could be a painful injury or surgery that hasn't yet healed. Or just a simple ache or pain, like a sore wrist or elbow. And taking your time, letting yourself get a sense of an area of the body you could choose to work on. There's no wrong choice. Whatever you choose is going to be right for this meditation. Once you've found an area of the body, see if it's possible to get curious about this area, dropping the natural tendency to move away from it, but paying attention in a special way, with kindness and gentleness, the way you might if you were with a loved one who is having this kind of physical discomfort. How would you describe it? Saying it's painful isn't at all descriptive, so seeing if you can identify specific types of sensation. For instance, sharp, cutting, dull and throbbing, burning, constricted, pressure or tightness, achiness. Noticing sensations simply as sensations, and seeing if you can explore this area with an attitude of tenderness and kind curiosity. You can ask yourself, how big is this area of discomfort? Is it the size of a marble, or a baseball, or as big as a football? How thick or thin is it? As thin as a piece of paper? As thick as a book? Or maybe it varies in thickness. If it had a texture, what texture would you say it had? Is it hard like concrete? Rigid but with some give like wood? Soft like a sponge? Or fluid like water or oil? What is its shape? It has a certain geometry. And where are the boundaries? Spending a moment at the boundaries, at the edges, that area where if you went further out, there's less or no discomfort. Experimenting with being right at the boundary. Seeing if you can let the area just beyond the edge soften or relax, this area around the difficult part. You're not trying to change the area of discomfort itself, but just putting your attention at the edges, letting there be a softening there. As you're beginning to pay close attention to the physical sensations and the images associated with it, seeing if you can identify the feeling you have about this physical condition. Is there anger about having this condition? Does it feel unfair? Is there a fear that it might not get better or that it will get worse? Sadness about how it's limiting you? Impatience? Confusion? What would you call this feeling in your own words? If it's possible for you, seeing if you can soften your reaction to the physical condition with gentle breaths. Seeing if you can be with it the same way you'd be with a child or a pet whom you love and who is in distress. And you know that if that were the case, you would do this with tenderness, with gentleness. You wouldn't demand that your loved one respond differently than they are. And if you like, you might even place your hand where the discomfort is, or on your heart or belly, meeting this experience with kindness, recognizing that this would be difficult or painful or challenging for anybody, holding it and yourself gently and with compassion. And taking your time with this, there's no rush. This is softening and allowing. Softening of your reaction to the feeling that you're having, allowing that reaction to be there, allowing the feeling to be there. All the while knowing that allowing it to be there doesn't mean that you like it. It's simply an acknowledgement that this is what you're feeling right now. As you do this, you may feel sensations and feelings coming and going. And you may notice, if you pay close attention, that there's movement, change from moment to moment. Perhaps a tightening or a loosening. You may notice heat, waves of energy, or images or impressions may emerge. And through all of this, seeing if you can bring a sense of kindness, curiosity, and compassion to your exploration. And spending enough time here to make contact with what you're noticing and feeling, but not so much that you become overwhelmed. When you do this on your own, or at any time during this meditation, if you do feel overwhelmed, you can return to breath or simply sense into the physical support that you have from the chair or bed or floor. And if it's still too much, you can always pause or stop the meditation, open your eyes and look around the room to orient yourself. Now, without trying to push the difficult sensations away, we're going to begin an exploration for somewhere in your body that's not in pain, seeing if you can find neutral or even pleasurable sensations somewhere in your body. Expanding your awareness beyond the area of discomfort. Beginning by bringing awareness to the movement of breath, allowing your discomfort to be soothed by the rhythm of the breath. Allowing your body to rest deeply into what's supporting it. And as you begin the exploration, scanning your body, noticing what's there and pausing when you find something pleasurable or pleasingly neutral. Sensing your toes, your feet, your lower leg, your thighs, your hips, stomach, chest, shoulders, your arms, hands, your neck, your face and your head. As you scan, you're looking for pleasant sensations, no matter how subtle they might be. It's as if you're an explorer looking for hidden treasure. It could be a sense of warmth in your hands, a pleasant tingling somewhere in your body, maybe a sense of release as you sink into your support. Or maybe you're just now noticing your right big toe or lower arm is pain-free. Spending some time moving through your body with your awareness, and pause there when you find something pleasurable. If you're having difficulty finding some place that feels okay, you might gently place your hand somewhere, for instance on your shoulder or chest or head, the way you might to comfort someone you cared about. And if that touch feels comforting, sensing into that area. Or you might recall someone you know or have known who is loving and kind to you, and imagine that they're close to you now, holding or supporting you, and how that feels in your body. Maybe warmth in your middle or softness around your heart. Or you could even open your eyes for a moment and look around you for something that's beautiful or pleasant in your immediate environment. It might be a plant or a ray of sunlight coming through the window, a piece of art, or a photo on the wall. And letting yourself spend some time here with this part of your body or room that feels pleasant. When you do this on your own, you can stay here as long as you want, whatever feels right for you. And if you find yourself being drawn back to the painful area, don't fight it, but allow yourself some soft breaths, breathing into this area of your body with gentleness and kindness. And when you're ready and able, gently bringing your awareness back to the pleasant or neutral area of your body. You could even let the breath be between those two areas, the pleasant and the unpleasant. Just feeling the rhythm of your breath, the soft breath. Breathing into both areas with gentleness and kindness. As you do this, you may notice that things may feel differently than they did before, that they are actually fluid and dynamic, not solid or fixed. And when you're ready, seeing if you can broaden your awareness, like panning out with a wide-angle lens, including both the pleasant area and the difficult area, so wide that there's enough space and room for both of them without pushing the difficult away or clinging to the pleasant. Shifting to an even wider, more inclusive perspective that includes both the pleasant and unpleasant, and including the entire body and all of its sensations. And when you're ready, moving wider still to include in your awareness the room or area you're sitting or lying in. You might notice that by widening your awareness, there's a sense of space, of freedom, a capacity for change and movement. Let yourself spend a moment here with this wider perspective. If it's not too much of a stretch, seeing if you can expand your awareness to include the building or natural setting you're in. And even wider, to include your neighborhood, your town or city. Even further to your region of the country. The physical discomfort may not have diminished significantly, but now it's part of something much bigger. And as your awareness expands even further to include the entire world that's possible for you, recognizing that at this very moment, there are others who are experiencing the same kind of pain or discomfort as you have been. And in this way, you're not alone. Out of the many millions, billions of people included, it's certainly true that some of them are experiencing the same sort of pain or difficulty you are, with the same or even more intensity. the pains, the fears, the worries are not yours to bear alone. They are in fact shared by others. There are others feeling the very same thing at literally the same time as you. You're not alone. If it seems possible to do this, you might see if you can imagine your awareness expanding even further, seeing the Earth from space the way an astronaut might. That beautiful blue-white sphere against a velvety black backdrop with no visible borders, seamless, whole, alive, and so precious. When you're doing this on your own, you could stay here for a while if you like, seeing the Earth as this beautiful, glowing jewel suspended in space. When you're ready, letting your awareness gradually return to your part of the world, to you, your body, how you are right now, feeling and sensing how it is to be in your body right here, right now. Coming back to just you, but with awareness still wide enough to hold both the difficulties and pleasures of your body and your life. Seeing if you can bring gentleness and kindness to whatever you're feeling right now, holding yourself with compassion and understanding. And spending the next few unguided moments resting deep in the body, in the breath, and allowing any discomfort or unease to be soothed by the rhythm of the breath again and again and again. We're near the end of the meditation, so if you'd like to stay here longer, you can pause or stop the recording. When you're ready, slowly opening your eyes if they've been closed, letting your attention move to the outside world, taking in sight, sound, sensation, beginning to gently move your body and re-engage with the world. In the minutes, hours, and days that follow, seeing if you can bring a fresh sense of curiosity, openness, and kindness to all that you encounter.
All right, so that is that. Finished it. Now I need to leave some comments. This is turning the inward, and last time I did the emotional. This time I did the physical. And my mind wandered and raced quite a bit as well. Daydreamed. Oh, I forgot about my brilliant idea for rearranging my space. I feel like that would make a lot of sense to do. But anyways, noticed. I actually had a really good realization, and let me see how true this is. Wow. Okay. So I just did a full squat on a downward incline, and one on an upward incline as well. And I actually, as of like a few weeks ago, like last week or like a few weeks ago, I had so much pain in my knees. Like I was having trouble, like just with basic, like even just like squatting down like a little bit. I completely destroyed my knees with a bad Olympic style weightlifting, trying to lift too much weight and not being smart about progressing in my weight and just going for big lifts. So I had actual patellar tendonitis, and it's pretty much gone. So patellar. This is like 95% gone. There's still a little bit, but it's insane how much better it is. Also my tennis elbow is like, I feel like my tennis elbow is a little bit, it still feels kind of iffy, and I can still aggravate it if I really like try to. So I'd say it's like 80% healed. I actually was feeling zero pain or discomfort in my knees during this meditation, despite having so much pain earlier that I needed to quit exercising. So yeah, that's something to be grateful for sure. And then the stomach pain is still there. Just need to lose weight, which I'm working on. So all right, that's as easy as it is. Even that is a bit verbose. So next time I'm going to be doing yoga. That's what's important to me, is to be physically active. So yoga is a great way to do that. The exercises are optional. So I'm choosing to do yoga four days in a row, and then that's probably all I'll get to. Seventh day and beyond is optional. So for the seventh day, I like the sitting exercise. It's probably my favorite one so far, even though it's one of the harder ones because you have to sit upright. But I might do that as an extra on the seventh day, just because I like that one the best so far. All right, so yeah, that's probably you know what? Let me read these two articles on the informal practice to get a better sense of those, and then I think that'll be the end of for this video. But in the meantime, I will medicate myself so I can go to bed soon. All right, so this is turning toward difficult emotions. Option 1 for week 5 informal practice. Do the guided turning toward meditation at least once before doing this practice on your own. This is similar to stop, 1 minute breathing space, except that in the middle there is an intentional exploration of an emotional difficulty. So beginning with awareness and grounding. Bring yourself into the present moment, grounding yourself by physically sensing into the support provided by the ground or floor beneath your feet and what you are sitting or lying on. Then gently direct full attention to breathing for a few breaths, feeling each in-breath and out-breath. Turning toward the difficult, softening, allowing. What would you call this feeling you are having? Anger, fear, sadness, impatience, confusion. If, for example, it was anger, rather than saying I am angry, or I am frustrated, or I am sad about something, develop metacognition. See how it feels to say I'm noticing something in me that is this way, that is angry or afraid or sad, but I am not, you know, an attribute of being angry or sad is not inherent in who I am. I'm noticing something in me that has this feeling. This gives the feeling more room to move, and you won't identify with it as much. This way, you're not labeling yourself as angry or fearful. You are merely aware you have those feelings right now and that they can change. They may be transient. There may be a way to not have those feelings, if you so choose. Now, see if you can notice where in the body there might be a physical reaction to this. It could be a tightening in the shoulders or chest, tightness in or queasiness in the stomach, pressure or tension of some sort, achiness, constriction, tension in the throat, heat in face, tightness in the jaw, just seeing where it affects you physically. Or if you can't find a specific place, there may be a general sense of unease you feel all over. Right now I'm feeling heartburn very, very strongly, possibly due to metformin, although I haven't taken it I take it in the afternoon, so I took it more than 7 hours ago. Allow what you are noticing to just be there, simply acknowledging it, letting your awareness gently rest there, allowing it to be just the way it is. See if you can soften your reaction to the difficulty, to this situation with gentle breaths, seeing if you can be with it the same way you'd be with a child or pet whom you love or who is in distress. You might even place your hand where in the body you are physically feeling the difficulty the most, or on your heart or belly, meeting this experience with kindness, recognizing that this would be difficult or painful or challenging for anybody, holding it and yourself gently and with compassion. This is softening and allowing, softening of your reaction to the feeling that you're having, allowing that reaction to be there, and all the while knowing that allowing it to be there doesn't mean that you like it. It's simply an acknowledgement that this is what you are feeling right now. Okay, next section, seeking the pleasant. Without trying to push the difficult issue away, see if you can find somewhere in your life where things are generally okay. Or maybe even good, something or someone you are grateful for. It could have to do with a loved one, a favorite pet, past or present, a good friend, maybe an achievement in the past or present, a hobby or a sport that gives you pleasure and satisfaction, or a quality or strength that you have and are rightfully proud of. It could even be something as simple as recalling a smile or a kind word someone had for you recently or in the past. So that's a good tip. Negativity bias is definitely a thing. It's harder to remember pleasant experiences than negative ones because the stakes of forgetting something negative can be much more consequential. All right, so broadening awareness and opening to the outside world. In this step, you broaden your awareness like panning out with a wide angle lens, including both what you're grateful for and the difficulty you began with. You are creating enough space and room for both without pushing away the difficult or clinging to the pleasant, shifting to an even wider, more inclusive perspective, including the entire body and all of its sensations. Bring into your awareness the room or area you are in, letting your attention now move to the outside world, taking in the sights, sounds, and sensations around you, and when you're ready, re-engage with the activities of your day. So that's the training for how to do this. I already did it without reading this training, but I did do the turning toward meditation first. So, all right, and then the training for yeah, so I think the training is going to be pretty much the same thing, but I'll read it anyway. So this is turning toward for physical pain. It's option 2 for week 5 informal practice. Yep, just about everything's the same except so you begin with awareness and grounding. Just like before, you bring yourself into the present moment, grounding yourself by physically sensing into the support provided by the ground or floor beneath your feet. or what you are sitting or lying on. Then gently direct full attention to breathing for a few moments, feeling each in breath and out breath. Turning toward the difficult, softening, allowing. How would you describe the sensation? See if you can do this without calling it pain. So yeah, and be as specific as possible. For instance, is it sharp, cutting, dull, throbbing, burning, tight, itchy? So definitely burning. I also have itching in my toes, and I have like a pressure in my stomach. How big is the area of discomfort? How thick or thin is it? What texture would you say it had? What is its shape, and what are the boundaries? Spend a moment at the boundaries beyond which there's less or no discomfort. See if you can let the area just beyond the edge soften or relax without trying to change the area of discomfort itself, just putting your attention at the edges, letting there be a softening there. See if you can identify the feeling you have about this physical condition. Is there anger? Does it feel unfair? Is there fear that it might not get better or that it will get worse? Sadness about how it's limiting you? Impatience, confusion? Use your own words to describe this feeling. See if you can soften your reaction to the difficulty with gentle breaths, seeing if you can be with it the same way you'd be with a child or pet who you love or is in distress. So this is the same as before. So I'll skip to the next section. Without trying to push the difficult sensations away, scan your body for an area that's not in pain, seeing if you can find neutral or even pleasurable sensations. As if you are an explorer looking for hidden treasure. It could be a sense of warmth in your hands, a pleasant tingling somewhere in your body, maybe a sense of release as you sink into your support, or maybe you're just now noticing. So I just now noticed that my patellar tendonitis in my knees is like pretty much like 95% gone. If you're having difficulty finding some place that feels okay, you might gently place your hand somewhere. For instance, it might be a good time to start weightlifting again and destroying them. For instance, but be smarter about actually lifting the correct amount of weight. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so it's pretty much the same as the other one, and then the last part you broaden your awareness, creating room for the pleasant and unpleasant sensation, and then finally you bring your awareness back. So it's really about kind of noticing other things besides just the pain, noticing parts of yourself that don't feel like you're in pain, learning that metacognition where you're not defining yourself and your whole identity by sensations or emotions. You're just experiencing them, and they're hopefully they are transient. So just kind of learning to lower the anxiety, depression, and stress that comes with unpleasant experiences. All right, so that's that. I had a good sense for that. So those are good. Now we've got a lot of supplementary materials, but don't need to get through those. Just need to get through all the videos, and all the readings, which it might be. Yeah, and look, we just finished these two readings. You know what? Maybe I can finish all the readings tonight because these were the big ones. So if these are short, I might be able to finish them all tonight. Okay, that's a 3-pager. This is a 2-pager. This one's pretty short. No, I don't. The camera's already been rolling for an hour. So yep, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.